Hey guys, it's Morgan coming back to you with another weekly Shlog. We are here at Highland Cycles, my little shop in Montrose, Colorado, where we work on dirt bikes. We do all kinds of cool stuff, from modifying and making them work better to just fixing things, and even work on this old DRZ400. So, if you're new here, make sure you stick around, watch the whole thing. If you're part of the punk rock club, make sure you give us a rock and roll sign. Yeah, let's get after this. Alright, so first on the lift this week is the DRZ400, venerable DRZ400. They have built 4 billion of these things, and this one actually I think is in pretty good shape. Got a laundry list of things to look at for the guy. I actually really like it when customers do this. It's so nice. They make a list beforehand, they come in and they just drop it off. Makes our job really easy. We don't have to like pull the information out of them as we're walking around the bike and checking it in. It's really, really nice. There's a lot of stuff going on here that's not all going to get done because he just dropped it off for the day. He's picking it up today, so I won't be able to get all of it. These are just all the little things he thought of, but we're kind of in order of what needs to happen. So we're going to bleed the front brakes, change oil, and probably flush the coolant. Anyway, lots of little things. Let's get after it. Alright guys, so when we're servicing a bike, one of the things I like to do first is take the air filter off and get it out, cleaned, and drying while I'm doing everything else, because that way by the time I'm done with everything, the air filter should be dry. And this guy definitely looks like he's been watching the channel, because it's covered in oil. Actually looks really clean. I may not do that. It looks really, really clean. So I may just take this out of the way, set it down, make sure everything else is good. But that looks perfect. Finally. Next thing, guys, on service, like to fire it up, warm it up, and get the oil draining while I'm doing all the other things too. Oh, I've started the beef already with Slavens on the new bike. The beef has begun because I stole his thumbnail. I'll show you. Alright guys, so one thing that this gentleman mentioned is that he washed his bike, and after he washed it, he had a problem with it wanting to keep running. Like, it would start, but then it wouldn't want to run. So I'm going to check the spark plug, because he doesn't know if the spark plug's ever been changed. I mean, I'm sure at some point this is not a new bike, but ooh, haha! You see that? That is a super common thing on older bikes. That thing, I'm surprised it ran at all. Just popped right out of there. And that would be all it would take. Because you can see this cap is trying to come. Okay, we can fix this. Alright guys, so right in here, that's where this wire attaches to the spark plug cap. And it's just a screw, and it was all super rusty. And I guarantee you that's what was causing the problem with this. So, got some Scotch-Brite. We're going to try to clean that up. Clean this really, really good so we can get a good connection between this and this wire. Also going to clip this wire back a little bit to get fresh wire there. And then we'll put a new plug in it, and I bet he won't have any more problems with water or anything like that. Alright guys, there is the plug. That is disgusting. Very glad we're doing this. Yeah, that is heinous. Also, found this down in there as I was trying to get the spark plug out, it wouldn't come out because this got stuck on there. So we'll clean this up really good, probably glue it on here. This is an extra protection to keep dirt and grime out of there. But yeah, get a new plug. That's going to be a really good thing. With this fixed and a new plug, I don't think we're going to have any more problems with it running. Alright guys, next on the lift is lowering a shock and forks from a Freeride 250 Freeride, yeah, two-stroke 250 Freeride. Anyway, not a big deal to what I'm doing. It's anyway, rebuilt the shock. We're using this guy for lowering it, and we got a shorter spring in there to make that work. But I want to show you guys our new big 30-liter awesome ultrasonic cleaner. So excited. Thank you, Creworks, however you pronounce that. Thank you guys so much for giving me this to try out. I'm really excited about it. I like this, the big knobby knob. So we're just going to turn it up. Going to put it at 175. See the little heating thing come on, and then it's just got a knob for timing, which is really cool because this one, while it's nice and whatever, nothing. Oh, it turned on actually. That's weird. So that doesn't always work, which is funny. But this whole situation doesn't always work. So I like this. It's going to be good. Super stoked about it. So we're gonna let that heat up, and we're gonna install some Fabuloso. There we go. Now we'll let it heat up. All right, so the ultrasonic has been heating up. I lowered the forks too, by the way. There they are. They're little short ones. So we dropped those, shorter springs, the whole thing. So now this has been heating up for probably 45 minutes or so. Let's see how warm she is. Definitely warm, not super hot yet, but this is one thing you can't tell how hot it is. It doesn't have a gauge, but I don't really care. So let's drop our shock body in. Go get our spring too. I'm gonna let it marinate. Give it set for 30 minutes. I like that. It's really, really nice the way that's working. All right, guys, ultrasonic worked great with the Fabuloso. Everything got really nice and clean without any scrubbing, really. I haven't touched these. So that turned out awesome. Spring looks great. Super happy with how that Creworks is working, and it's nice and huge. Definitely get a case half in there, no problem. Which was a problem with my other one. You get a lot of things in there, but case halves never would fit, and other long things. Shocks, actually, you couldn't like dunk the whole thing in there. So, yeah, pretty cool. Now I'm just going to put this thing back together. We got a Zeta Racing thing to shorten the shock up a little bit. And we do have a brand new spring, so I don't even need that spring. We're going to give it back to him, all shiny and happy. Bleed this thing, and we'll be on to the next job. All right, guys, next on the lift is a 2023 Husqvarna TX300 Heritage Edition. Absolutely beautiful bike of our good friend Troy Nordquist. We're just hanging some cool guy parts on it for him, nothing big. But I do want to show you this. So if you like running the stock skid plate, which actually I do, I'm running the stock one on this bike, and I really like it. It's not the most protective, but it's pretty freaking good. You can buy an Enduro Engineering beaver tail skid, whatever, link skid for it, which is pretty cool. And it's made to fit specifically for the skid plate. Now, they make another one. I just got to show you. So our customer, Troy, he bought some stuff himself, and he brought it in, which I don't mind because he has us do the work, and then he buys lots of other things, so I don't care. But he bought the wrong one. This one's too wide. I'll show you. They make two. This fits their skid plates. You can see the holes don't line. Anyway, it's not right. So no big deal. We got the right one here in stock, so we're hanging that on there. We'll let him send that back. But I guess this is twofold. First of all, it's cool EE makes that link skid for it. That's awesome. The other thing is make sure you get the right one when you order it. So I'm going to get that on there. Going to put our little brake springy thing on because I love that thing so much. And then we put an Enduro Engineering disc guard. These are really nice. I'm a Bulletproof Designs guy personally, but these ones are also really nice. And the blade is replaceable, which is pretty cool. I like the Bulletproof that's all one piece because it's a little stronger. And Bulletproof has lifetime warranty, so if you ever bend it up so bad that it causes problems, they'll send you another one. Just pay shipping or a nominal fee. It's not much. So anyway, there we go. Let's get this thing done. We'll get on to the next job. All right, guys. So next on the lift is this WR450, I think. Yeah, 250 F. And a gentleman brought it in for, he wasn't sure, either carb work, valve, something. Anyway, it's acting up. And as he was dropping it off, I found it. At least I found the start of it. Hopefully it's the end of it also. So first thing I noticed, you come over here and the carburetor is not, let's get in there tight, all the way in the boot. So that's not good. It's got a little tear here, but I think the carburetor itself, or the boot's actually intact, just a tear on the outside. But then I looked over here, and it's going to be hard for you to see from this angle. We'll go to the other side. You can tell there's something wrong. So we come to this side, and let's see. Hang on, I gotta get a flashlight. There we go. That carburetor is not at all in the boot. There's actually a gap. So it's definitely sucking air. That means it's also sucking dirt. So hopefully I can close that up, get it all done, and it will work just fine. At least for now. Hopefully we don't get it done and then it like still sucks really bad, because that means probably it damaged the motor, which means it's going to get really expensive. And that's not awesome. I mean, it is good for business, but it's not good for this gentleman. So we're going to try to jockey that carburetor back into its home, see if it fires up and runs okay, and we'll check back in and see what we find. All right, guys, got everything back together, tightened up, airtight. I tried to start it up. It didn't want to run with. I pulled the choke and it ran really high RPM. Sorry, I didn't bring you in for that, but it went shut the choke off and it died. So then I checked the fuel screw, which has got a big, nice external adjuster, and it was tight. Like someone turned that sucker tight. Make sure to tighten everything up. So I opened that thing up to about 2 out, 2.5, and let's see. Starts good. Runs good. So I think we're going to change the oil. It's on the work order. Make sure that's all good. We'll check the air filter. And yeah, I think this gentleman may have dodged a bullet, which is cool. Don't know how long he's going to get to dodge that bullet. It might come back around and bite him eventually, but bike feels good. I'm going to obviously ride it, make sure it feels strong, but it's not smoking. It's not doing anything weird. It is, after all, a WR. They are very durable motorcycles. And hopefully that wasn't off like that for very long. Pretty cool. Happy to find that and make that hopefully an easy situation for this guy so it doesn't cost him a ton of money. All right, guys, so this bike's running great. Got the oil drained. It's super dirty, as you might have imagined. New oil filter in it, but I just want to show you guys a tech tip on these older Genesis motored WRs, or YZs too. Anyway, the Yamaha Genesis motor, which if you don't know what that is the 5-valve headed motor. That was what they called this engine. I think it first maybe appeared originally on the TDM 800 or 850. The TDM had a twin 800 or 850 motor with 5-valve head, and it was kind of a special thing, but back in the day. It was like late 80s. But they put that on these bikes, and they had this oil filter cover right here, and it's all whatever fine. But this bottom bolt is this long shoulder bolt, and I've seen many, many times when guys will put these two bolts in and tighten them down, then they go to put this in. It tries to go in, but it doesn't end up straight, and it will strip these threads. So if you've got one of these bikes or you're working on one, don't tighten any bolts down until you tighten this bottom one first. So I get these started, You can get them snug down, you know, so they're not, you know, way out there. You definitely want the cover kind of flat, you know, against the case as you tighten the other one down. But you don't want them super tight, because you can see it wiggles, right? If you tighten that down and this ends up off center, it will strip that bolt out and then cause all kinds of problems. I've actually seen motors blow up because of that, because this will come out while you're riding and then all the oil will come out of the motor. It doesn't just seep. That's why there's a shoulder. There's an oil passage here. And anyway, it doesn't just seep. It pours it out. And if you're not paying attention, it doesn't end up on your boot or whatever. You can drain all the motor out, or all the oil out, excuse me, and cause big problems. So tighten these ones down first. There we go. Then we tighten the other ones up. And you're good to go. Little tech tip for you guys on these older YZ motors. The newer ones just have a cover that's just 2 bolts that don't go anywhere, and it's pretty simple. But yeah. Then let's take a look. I want to show you guys the air filter. It's not good. I think it's not leaking right here. Maybe, I don't. Oh no, it's not good. So this bike is probably not long for the world. It is running just fine right now, but we're gonna have a long talk with this guy when he picks it up. But yeah, you see, it's not even on the thing. So it's been a while since we've had the air filter maintenance conversation here. But from me to you, learn how to maintain your air filter, please, 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 please. Then you and I can just be friends, and I can sell you cool tires, cool upgrades to your bike, suspension work, all that kind of stuff, instead of motors. I would rather do that. I would rather build you a super cool bike than just get it back to running. So anyway, we'll keep on going. If I hear or see anything extra super rad on this, we'll bring you back in. All right, guys, that's the end of the week, the end of the Shlog. Sorry, it's a shorter one. I've been so busy between going to Idaho for the Kellogg, for the Silver King, excuse me, Hard Enduro, getting Zach his new 2024 300 XCW, working on my XC, cutting trails, all the things. I just did not get enough film. We've been super busy, as you can imagine. It's summertime, that's the way it is. But we're kind of catching up, which is good. We don't have just a ton of bikes here, which is nice, honestly. A little bit of a breather, because in a week we are going to the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest up in Washington to ride with Dan North from True North Motos and a whole bunch of you guys. Very excited about that. If you don't know about that, check out our Facebook page. Go to events. I'll put a link in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Meet us up there. We're going to be riding for 3 days in the Pacific Northwest. I cannot wait. It's going to be a ton of fun. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's our Ride the World Series of Awesome. This is episode 6. So we're going to have a ton of fun. We're going to have some giveaways and things like that. I have not announced that online yet, so you guys are the first to know. But anyway, I love you guys. I hope you get out and spread the gospel of 2 wheels. And as always, I desperately hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you guys to work on, but more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes!